So the days, of course, carry on getting more absurd. But at this point, you're going from the knockbacks being from in Birmingham, knock you flat on your back for several weeks at a time. In Edinburgh, it is the tiniest nerve impulse in my back. Oh, someone's taken a swing at me. I just haven't noticed, mate. I just don't care about anything you say or do. So the current incumbent after this week's incursions out into the pond are the ultra liberal herself, and the creator of the original Bible, by the way. So when you say this thing was the Enigma Code, it was. So if you're sitting in a legal department in 2020 and you want to read a document that's in front of you, you can't read the document unless you know what the document is saying. So you read this book down here, and it tells you where these activists in here, and that they're having this sort of political strategy where they're trying to grab things and create a power game, and you're sitting there trying to play it straight and be fair and thinking, well, how can we sort this out? And they're just going to bulldoze you. So because she gave us the tactics and strategy effectively via this thing, in the court service, we were prepared, so we'd seen the evergreen stuff, we got the footage, so when these people gained access to the organisation, we could clear them out. So it was counter-ops, people being sent from Birmingham University, gaining access, these revolutionaries barging in, oh, you defer to us now, and you'd catch them, beep, people, no, out the door, please, we see what you're doing, we're going along with none of this. And you had various people being caught or leaving of their own accord. Because though the commissioners are scum, they didn't speak to us in the court service. There was no reason not to do that. I think my esteemed associate Carol is correct when they said that based on the nature of the job, people either think we're disgusting, or we're scary, or we're stupid, or some mix of them all. We've got to be some kind of negative aspect, which I suppose we are. If we're turning up and trying to speak to you, generally we are about to attack you. We are those kind of people. But the job, of course, is to do the total opposite. So if someone is attacking you, I'm there, because you're about to, because the pounds and pence thing's about to be attacked by me. But if there's a convenience explanation, which in Birmingham there may be, like a loan shark, then I'm after the loan shark. I'm not after you, and this is the basic nature of our job. Right, so if you want to explain to a basic member of our department, what is your job on day one of training, it is looking for loan sharks and criminals and people who shouldn't be there in a city like this. So it was a difficult job back in the 2000s. Now you've got this kind of shit going on. So I apologise for the bad language, but again, we don't live in the demolition man society. This is just how Britain is now. So the dynamics before we left were, as has previously been in previous recordings, the managing director gets her head blown off because she was too stupid for her theatre performance to work. John Cotton lost power while they hid away. Again, the election was without this kind of stuff reaching out to the public. They're deleting stuff from internal records and hiding. So John Cotton went organically, and they're now sort of hiding with Nicky Brennan, trying to sort of shepherd Birmingham Labour as the top of, quote unquote, the housing, which I can guarantee she's never been seen at. We've never seen this woman other than walking to Birmingham University and catching her. They send us nonsense via the computer screens and pretend, of course, to oversee the place, but they're not. In terms of day-to-day operations, they wouldn't have the foggiest. What's happening in day-to-day operations is, in many cases, within that bag, but interviewing some of these lovely women under caution is going to be an interesting project. But John Cotton, of course, much like the Australian Premier, wanted power, so he went off to these sort of people to get it. And this is, I can't even recall his name, but he works in the IT department. And of course, after Southport, they were playing around with this kind of stuff and attacking people. So this is the current situation. So it's effectively sort of mafia tactics. You show how much power you have by going to the roof of the library, attacking children around Southport, and just carry on. So, well, we can do that. We've got the power to do so. Carry on. So their compliance people said, OK, see you. But the patronage money, of course, is still flowing through from central government, so they're not clever enough to work out that means. In the background, you've got, of course, the revolting sort of HR goblins who are too stupid and cowardly. This is sort of Darren Canning, no testicles whatsoever, pumping gas into this thing because his intersectionality cult and whoever pays him tells him to. And in the background, you've got the Unison rep, so lots and lots of people threatening the HR people. But this guy's just a gene stealer, so he's just a Chris and a political activist. But in the background, we've got the HR goblins fleeing, about to get just stepped on because they just hide. And Canning, I think, sent me an email after 14 days saying, "I'm sorry, sir, in the policy of Birmingham, it's we don't want to discuss philosophy because you have to point out that philosophy was marked as Asians only by his department." This kind of stuff. I mean, Canning should be straight out of the public body. But the thing coming out of them, of course, is what they don't get. So this is again, I don't have any ash for the thing yet, can't really power it. You want to mix the ash with paint, I think. So we're going to paint this grey. It's either going to be a grey sort of wolf thing or possibly an Imperial Fists thing, but I think the old man merits a wolf because now he's dead. I just get the flamethrower and I just get to burn them all and just blow things away. So the two of us together, a final tag team. Dad wouldn't have gone along with Magic Bean's bullshit because he told me not to when I was a child. So we've taken her out. And once again, because she's still hiding nearly a year later, we've worked out that she is a great and clean one. So in political theory, again, John Cotton had to find a woman. Because if you think about things in biological terms, if you were to pick up my sword and a woman were to walk through the door behind me, even I would have trouble just cutting your head off because there's a biological limiter in my brain, because if there wasn't, I couldn't have reproduced. Human civilization is predicated on non-violence. So the British are the sort of people who will be surrounded by weapons all over the place and be very sensible and safe because we don't actually want to hurt other people, whereas in Green Lane, they do. But this thing wants power, and John Cotton wants power, but John Cotton at the moment is the tiny little demon under this woman's feet, because the aggression is a limiter based on her biology. But in terms of British law, her behaviour is totally absurd, and she should belong in a jail cell. But because Birmingham was cut off from central government in 2013, you would say to compliance people, well, central government says we have to do X, Y, Z, and they would attack you. Right? So you've got 13 years of the city of Birmingham being totally outside government control. So in the current version of this game, the silly space police faction called the Imperial Fists bashes the way in and tries to restore order, which should be currently happening with the spooks effectively. The only reason this isn't happening must be either the spooks are pretty incompetent or we're trying to still rely on the political process, which hopefully we are. Unless this expands, though, quite quickly, we're in a lot of trouble because you can't run a public body based on this kind of stuff. The career was always in a bunker, so the idea of our job is we sit in a building, you scream and shout at me, I stand there and say, okay, well, you can do as you please, but it's not going to affect my decision because we have the legitimate authority of the state. Actually, we've gone through the court process. There is obviously no planet where Birmingham's current behaviour is in any way reasonable. It's totally absurd. At the moment, though, that's totally fine because we've got all these guys as well. So these are our team, effectively, people of the similar degree.